2026 Honda Gold Wing Trikes, the ultimate three-wheel touring machine. Imagine taking one of the most famous luxury touring motorcycles in the world and transforming it into a machine with three wheels, extra stability, massive road presence, and even more long-distance comfort. That is the idea behind a 2026 Honda Gold Wing Trike. Before we go any further, there is one important point to understand. Honda's Gold Wing is fundamentally designed and sold as a two-wheel touring motorcycle, while Gold Wing Trikes are typically created through aftermarket conversion systems. So, when we talk about a 2026 Gold Wing Trike, we are talking about a three-wheel interpretation built around the modern Gold Wing platform rather than claiming that Honda officially sells a factory trike under that exact name. And honestly, that makes the concept even more interesting. The Honda Gold Wing has always been about combining long-distance touring with premium comfort, smooth performance, advanced technology, and impressive refinement. A trike conversion takes those qualities and changes the riding experience dramatically. Instead of balancing on two wheels, the rider gets a wider rear stance and a different sense of stability, especially at low speeds and when maneuvering a heavy touring machine. The first thing that grabs your attention is the design. Even as a standard motorcycle, the Gold Wing is a large and sophisticated machine. In trike form, the rear section becomes wider, giving the motorcycle an unmistakable road presence. The front retains the familiar Gold Wing character, with its broad fairing, integrated lighting, sculpted bodywork, and premium touring appearance, while the rear gains two wheels and a much wider stance. It looks less like a traditional motorcycle and more like a high-performance touring vehicle designed specifically for covering huge distances. The visual transformation also has a practical purpose. The wider rear end can provide additional stability when the machine is stationary or moving slowly. For riders who find a large touring motorcycle difficult to handle at parking lot speeds, the trike configuration can be appealing because the rider no longer needs to balance the entire machine in exactly the same way as a conventional motorcycle. Of course, there is a trade-off. A trike is wider, heavier, and behaves differently from a two-wheel motorcycle. It does not simply feel like a Gold Wing with one extra wheel. Steering, cornering, braking, acceleration, and maneuvering all have their own characteristics. That difference is an important part of understanding the Gold Wing Trike experience. At the heart of the modern Gold Wing platform is Honda's legendary flat-six engine. The six-cylinder layout is one of the biggest reasons the Gold Wing has such a unique personality. Instead of delivering the vibration and character you might expect from a large single-cylinder or traditional V-twin motorcycle, the flat-six engine is known for smooth, refined power delivery. For everyday riding, that means the engine can feel remarkably relaxed. Twist the throttle and the motorcycle builds speed without requiring frantic high-revving behavior. On highways, this smoothness becomes one of the machine's biggest strengths. The engine has the kind of effortless character that makes long-distance riding feel less stressful. Depending on the specific Gold Wing generation and conversion configuration, transmission and drivetrain specifications can vary, so buyers need to check the exact donor motorcycle and conversion package. Modern Gold Wing models are available with Honda's advanced automatic dual-clutch transmission on applicable versions, giving riders the option of an automatic-style riding experience without a conventional manual clutch. For a heavy touring trike, that can be especially attractive. Imagine leaving a city, entering a highway, and simply concentrating on the road rather than constantly managing clutch engagement and gear changes. The Gold Wing's smooth engine and sophisticated transmission can make the experience extremely relaxed. But performance is not only about acceleration. The real strength of a Gold Wing Trike is cruising. This machine is designed around the idea of going far. Whether the journey is across a country, through mountain roads, or along a coastal highway, the Gold Wing platform is built to keep rider and passenger comfortable for hours. The seating position is one of the most important parts of that experience. The rider sits in a relaxed touring position, while the passenger gets a dedicated seat designed for long-distance travel. Depending on the exact model and accessories, the rear passenger area can offer generous back support and a comfortable seating position. Storage is another major advantage. The Gold Wing has integrated luggage designed around touring, giving riders space for clothing, personal items, electronics, and other essentials. A trike conversion can also be paired with additional storage solutions, depending on the builder. That makes the machine especially attractive for people who think of a motorcycle as transportation rather than simply weekend entertainment. Technology is another area where the Gold Wing stands apart. Modern Gold Wing models feature a sophisticated cockpit with a large central display and multiple electronic functions. Depending on model specification, riders can have access to navigation, smartphone connectivity, audio functions, Bluetooth-related features, and other touring-focused technology. The result is a motorcycle that feels surprisingly close to a luxury automobile in terms of onboard convenience. There is also the audio experience. Long-distance riders can enjoy music or other entertainment while traveling, and the integrated technology helps make the journey feel more connected and comfortable. But the biggest question with a trike is handling. A two-wheel motorcycle leans naturally into a corner. A traditional trike does not lean in the same way. Instead, the rider steers the vehicle through the turn while the two rear wheels remain on the road. This changes the way cornering feels. Experienced riders usually adapt to the difference, but anyone moving from a conventional motorcycle to a trike should spend time learning its behavior. You have to understand the wider rear section, the different steering feel, and the way the vehicle responds to road surfaces and corners. The benefit is that the trike can feel extremely stable in situations where balancing a large two-wheel motorcycle can be challenging. That can be particularly useful during low-speed maneuvering, stops, and starts. A fully loaded Goldwing is already a substantial machine. Add a passenger, luggage, and fuel, and the total weight becomes significant. A properly engineered trike conversion can make stopping and remaining upright less demanding because the rear wheels provide their own support. However, stability should never be confused with invincibility. A trike still requires careful riding. Tire condition, suspension setup, braking performance, weight distribution, road conditions, and the quality of the conversion itself all matter. A poorly engineered conversion can completely change the safety and reliability characteristics of the original motorcycle. That is why the conversion system is one of the most important parts of a Gold Wing Trike. Different aftermarket manufacturers use different chassis designs, suspension components, braking systems, wheels, bodywork, and frame modifications. Some focus heavily on comfort and luxury, while others emphasize aggressive styling or performance. The best conversions are designed to work as a complete system rather than simply adding two wheels to the back. Another interesting aspect is customization. Goldwing owners have always had a huge range of accessories available, and the trike world takes customization even further. Owners can choose different wheels, paint finishes, lighting systems, seats, audio upgrades, luggage solutions, suspension components, and body designs. This means two Goldwing Trikes can look completely different even though they are based on the same motorcycle. One could have a sophisticated luxury appearance with premium paint and elegant wheels. Another might have a more aggressive appearance with darker finishes, custom lighting, and sportier bodywork. That individuality is one of the biggest attractions of a trike. There is also an emotional factor. The Goldwing has developed a reputation as a motorcycle for serious travelers. It is not primarily about chasing lap times or performing extreme maneuvers. It is about covering hundreds of miles while keeping the rider and passenger comfortable. The trike version takes that philosophy and pushes it toward a different audience. For riders who want the experience of a Goldwing but prefer the physical characteristics of a three-wheel platform, the conversion can be an interesting alternative. It can also appeal to riders who simply want something different from the thousands of conventional motorcycles on the road. And then there is the road presence. A Goldwing Trike is impossible to ignore. The wide rear stance, large fairing, integrated luggage, premium bodywork, and imposing dimensions create a machine that looks substantial from almost every angle. It has the presence of a luxury touring vehicle while still retaining the identity of a motorcycle. Fuel economy, tire wear, maintenance, and overall running costs are also worth considering. A trike conversion adds components that can require additional inspection and maintenance compared with a standard Goldwing. Rear tires, suspension parts, brakes, bearings, and conversion-specific components all need proper attention. That means buyers should not only look at the purchase price. They should also consider the reputation of the conversion manufacturer, availability of replacement parts, warranty coverage, service support, and the experience of the workshop performing the installation. For someone considering a used or newly converted Goldwing Trike, these details can be just as important as horsepower or styling. So, who is this machine really for? It is for the rider who values comfort, stability, touring capability, technology, and individuality. It is for someone